Hey guys, Starshot here to welcome you back to another Let's Play of Legend of Heroes. We last left off leaving the bridge, heading into this tunnel here that will lead us to our next location, Zeiss, where we will hopefully find someone who can tell us what the heck this black orbment we have on ourselves can do or what it is. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, for the most part, we've all of the items or things that we got from, or that some of the other characters had, we now have our own on our own inventory. As you can take a look here, we have the heal orbment that originally Chloe had, so we'll make some good use out of that as well. Especially since it definitely is a lot stronger, so we'll get a few other things like blue impact and so forth. And then of course there's plenty of other abilities we can learn, but I'll take a look at that once we have a look at any new ones. And then of course there are always the new encounters with different enemies. Now we're dealing with, it looks like a flying manta, oh apparently it's a cave ray. What a nice name for a manta ray that is slightly deformed. It lives deep underground, fast and armed with poisonous fins, and is severely weak to fire and wind. Let's go ahead and use that against him then, now, shall we? But of course we can do an attack and see what that does too. And it looks like we're in pretty good shape to take him out without much problems. And he gives a bit more red seeps, apparently. Yeah, as I said, we're pretty much good for now. We will be able to upgrade Joshua when we get to the next town. But for now, we'll pick up this treasure chest here and reduce to searching empty chests. That's really sad. Yeah, that is pretty sad when you think about it. But, we're just lonely junior bracers here. We can't afford things like the senior bracers, right? But yeah, so... Well, we're definitely quite a ways through the game now that we've finished up Chapter 2 and are on Chapter 3 now. There's really not much, I believe, to go on in this tunnel that, you know, here, other than just get to the next area. But they got a nice little revive station here for us to use. Always handy to have. I actually recently played through Partners in Time, and that was one of the things I really noticed. There weren't that many options or ways to try and heal up unless you were back in the castle. The reptilian monster that likes warm places, uses earth-based arcs, weak against wind. Well, it's a good thing we have some wind arts then to use. And then this worm thing here. It lives in darkness, spews sticky fluid to weaken its prey. No particular weaknesses, so... I'll just go ahead and attack it. Even though it is a tortoise, so it probably doesn't, you know, take too much damage from physical attacks. But man, some of these monster designs are very, I guess, unnerving, or pretty creepy if you ask me. They definitely, you know, but then again, I guess you don't really want your monsters to be cute, now do you? If you're kind of tasked with trying to kill them most of the time. Oh wow, that did quite a bit actually. But we should be able to take care of the tortoise now with just this hit. But then again, I guess for most RPG players, cute monsters that are trying to kill us never really stopped us from doing something about them. I'll just go ahead and heal up once more. Never can be too low on health or EP. But yeah, so they definitely have a very good variety of monsters, you know. Some will look similar, others kind of have their own feel to them. Ah, limestone cave. Interesting. Is there something special in here that we shouldn't be looking into? Oh, a treasure chest. Being blocked by a weird looking... Actually, I have no idea what this is. A crustacean monster living in the darkness breathes hypnotic bubbles. That can sound dangerous, apparently. I'll go ahead and do a flare. That should be enough, hopefully. And what does the manta ray, or the ray creature do again? Oh yeah, it's weak to fire and wind, so... aerial isn't too bad of a move to use. But yeah, as I said, the monsters... I definitely do like how the monsters are designed, even if most of them probably terrify me to no end. Of course, the manta ray isn't too bad, but this weird bubble blower or whatever thing is probably one of the most weirder things I've seen so far. But then again, those wolf monsters we faced back at the mayor's mansion, I'm pretty sure will keep me up at night for the next week. If they don't, then you really have no fear. Those, they definitely try to bring you the idea of just how terrifying some of these monsters can be. Ah, Tira Balm. Always nice. And the chest is empty because you've already been here. Yeah, some of them are maybe a bit too on the nose if you ask me. Okay, so it looks like we can continue looking into this limestone cave. But I'm sure we might probably come here later, quest-wise. So, I'm just a bit curious, trying to look around, but I'll probably just head back since, as I said, I usually like trying to do things in an order, try to get the most out of any journeying you do. Since these, if I were to just kind of do what I wanted, sometimes I sort of feel like these videos maybe would go on for too long. And sadly, my voice can only take so much talking. Let's see here, but I'll still explore all the different areas, at least in this cave system that we found ourselves in. Celestial Bomb. Ooh, even better. Aha! You again! Okay, yes, it's me again, treasure chest. Well, who else were you expecting? I'm never quite sure why these treasure chests have to say anything. The chest is empty, but you may now fill it with your tears. I'm not sad for taking it from you, sorry. You're just sort of lying there. If someone wouldn't take it, then I would. Or I'm pretty sure someone else would have gotten you to first. But oh well. But yeah, it's nice kind of exploring the side things here and here, and now we get a side section here, because what adventure would have us just go through a cave and not encounter something? Gotta hurry! Huh? Someone's coming this way! Oh! Good afternoon. Where's the fire? Good afternoon. Are you taking this road too? Well, yeah. Have you seen any lights that weren't working? The lights along the tunnel wall, I mean. Sorry, if there are, I haven't noticed any. All of the lights we passed were still on, but we did pass one that was flickering. There's 2 rivers between it and here. That's it. It's just like I thought. Sorry, I have to hurry. I wonder if she's from Zeiss. Strange little kid. She seemed awfully flustered. Now I'm kinda worried. Hey, you wanna try following her? You read my mind. I don't like the idea of a little girl wandering around here by herself. We should catch up to her and stick close. Okay, come on, let's hurry. Yeah, actually, with all the monsters we've encountered here, why is that kid running around here? Actually, shouldn't most of these monsters not be here at all anyway? You think the lights would keep them away, because I believe that's what they're designed for. Oh well. But yeah, we can't have an adventure without something going on. But it shouldn't take us too long to finally get back if we're not fighting anything. And if I do recall, I think she's going to be a new party member, actually. Usually if they have a portrait, they usually means they're special or important to the story. Can't believe there are so many of them. It's going to break at this rate. Maybe this... Wait, why the heck is that little kid wielding an orbital cannon? Isn't that thing a bit powerful for her? Bearing set. Angle of elevation 20 degrees. Orbital compression at 30%. Go! If you come any closer, then I won't miss next time. I mean it. Yeah, they don't care. They just want to eat you now, kid. Oops. I think that might have made them angrier. Normally threatening people, or monsters in this case, would make anyone angry. Ah! Yeah! Huh? Hey, I remember you. We can talk later. Get back! We've got to get rid of these things first. So even though they're weak to... yeah, they pretty much take physical damage fairly well, so we'll make use of that. Of course, maybe I should have gone with an aerial for her just because of how many there are. But we're doing quite a bit of damage, and apparently she has moves too, which I can make use of. So I'll just go ahead and do that then. Try and get them all if possible. Man, that sound effect sounds oddly familiar. I'm not sure from where though. Yeah, this stealing life is kind of annoying too. I'll definitely need to try and focus more on taking care of them completely. Or taking care of all of them at one set, hopefully. Here we go. And that's the only problem with stone impact is that, you know, you can't move or put it where you want like Ariel can. That took care of those two at least. But I'll go ahead and interrupt the next one here and hopefully I can kill him. Oh wow, that did quite a bit actually. And this next move should hopefully take care of them now. There. Still, I don't understand why the kid wields a cannon. And why we got so much green. And plenty of silver, too. That was scary. Thank you very much. I thought I was a goner for sure. Hahaha. Well, the important thing is that you're safe. But you really should be more careful. Stirring up monsters is a surefire way to get yourself eaten. But if I'd let them alone, they probably would have broken that light. Speaking of which, why would those things go after the lights anyway? Don't they do the same thing when the highway lights are switched out? The septum in those circuits is the monster's favorite food. The highway lights work to keep monsters away. But when they stop working, they have the opposite effect. Oh, I get it. Still, you shouldn't mess with stuff like that. Septum might be their favorite food, but little girls probably rank a close second. Oh, sorry. Go easy there. Giving her nightmares and saying don't do that isn't exactly going to score you any points. Oh, don't be such a wet blanket. Anyway, my name's Estelle. And I'm Joshua. We're bracers affiliated with the guild. Oh, so that's why you're so tough. How do I want to go about pronouncing this? Tita? Tita? Yeah, I guess that's as close as kind of how it is. Tita. I work as an apprentice... as an apprentice at the central factory. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Well then, Tita. We're heading to Zeiss, so do you want to join us for the rest of the way? That's right, you don't want to be around here if the monsters show up again. Really? Thank you. Would you mind waiting for a little bit? I've got to get that light fixed. Yeah, it's probably risky to leave it like that. How in the world did you know it had burned out, though? Well, I was lucky enough to notice the problem when I was looking in the computer database. It seems like the defective unit was installed here by mistake. Oh, alright. It's a good thing you caught it when you did. Computer? Database? Yeah, actually, I didn't realize they had computers already in this, world. Okay, that should do it. Sorry it took so long. Wow, color me impressed. Well, if she's an apprentice at the central factory, she has to be good. Well, I didn't do anything special. I just fixed the cork connection and adjusted the orbital pressure. Well, it sure sounds special. It's not that big a deal. Okay, how to explain this? Each orbment has a quartz circuit inside, and if it isn't properly connected, the orbital energy inside the unit will have nowhere to go. As a result, the orbment won't be able to function properly. This happens sometimes with the highway lights, which means their ability to give out light and ward off monsters is compromised, so... Stop! Well, that was a mouthful. Maybe you should save the explanation for after we get on the road. I mean, if we stand around too long, the monsters, you know... Yeah, I guess so. I was just warming up, too. Phew. Well, why don't we set out for Zeiss, then? Okay. Yes, sir. Isn't she just adorable? Also, I'm not quite sure what it is, but I've always noticed when it comes to some of the Japanese games and such, they always like having a female child prodigy. And I'm never quite sure if that's just something cultural or just for fan service in some weird way. But for the most part, you know, you know, the game itself I find is kind of pretty much, it doesn't try to pander as some other games might try, but it still has the right kind of fun moments that you wouldn't always expect in some RPGs. Of course, some RPGs I've played have been maybe a bit too serious. Oh. The tunnel ends here. So, does that mean this is the entrance to Zeiss? That's right. It leads right into the basement of the central factory. I'm excited to see it. The central factory is the pride and joy of Zeiss since it's an industrial city. I've heard it was big, but that's about all I really know. Well, yeah, it's really huge. Anyone who's not used to the layout could get lost in a hurry. Brr, that's a creepy thought. I'm beginning to worry whether or not we'll really be able to make it to the guild. The way out of the city is on the up on the first floor. I'll show you how to get there. Thanks. Well, let's go in. Yeah, and they even got the music to match the area, too. I've always preferred having the music to always try and fit the area, or kind of what they're trying to go for, but it also helps that it can stand on its own, too. Whoa! What's this place? Wow, it looks like almost the entire factory is completely automated. Below the city, there are a lot of orbment factories. They make everything from lights to airship parts. That's awesome! A little overwhelming, but awesome. You know, the music itself, I do find fairly well done, and that I could I could see myself actually listening to this outside of playing the game. And you know, I know there are some artists who believe that, you know, they should only at any game, or that the music in the game should only be there to enhance and not try and detract from anything. But if you just look at Mega Man has always had some pretty good music. Castlevania has some pretty good music. The Ys games, which I'll of course get around to playing out as well for this my Let's Plays. Okay, what's this room? This is the elevator. It can take us from the basement to the roof. Can't say I've ever seen one of these outside of the mines. And this one seems super high-tech. Haha, well, this is Zeiss. And since this is the central factory, I'm sure they have quite a few of these. They have more than one? It's the latest model, too. Maximum weight capacity, 50 torums. No idea what 50 torums means, but it sounds heavy. It can handle even heavy industrial equipment with no problem. I don't entirely get it, but it sure sounds impressive. So how do we get it to move? Oh, you just pick which floor you want on that panel. Let's see, you wanted to go into the city, right? Yes. Can you take us up to the first floor? Okay. Whoa! Yeah, I guess for a country bumpkin like Estelle, this looks pretty high-tech, doesn't it? Whoa! Check out the size of this place. This is the central factory's main floor. It's where the reception desk and consumer maintenance windows are. I see, so we can get out to town from here. Oh, Tita! Miss Hazel? There you are. Supervisor Travis has been looking for you. We'd like for you to go straight to the operations room. Oh, okay, I will. Uh-oh, sounds urgent. Thank you for showing us around. It's no big deal. It's the least I can do after you beat up those monsters for me. Well, we're planning to be in Zeiss for a little while. Would you mind if we stop by to see you again? I'd love that. Bye-bye then. What a sweet kid. I get the impression that she's a lot tougher than she looks. I agree. I always wanted a sweet, lovable little sister like her. Instead of, might I add, an obnoxious little brother. You keep saying things like that, but you're the one who's always following me around. If you want to be more like a real older sister, you need to get your head out of the clouds every now and then. Look who's talking. Anyway, all sibling rivalries aside, want to head into the city? Yeah, first I'd like to switch assignments at the guild. Plus, we can see if there's any new information on the orbment or Dad. Sounds like a plan. And here we are, finally in Zeiss, in the high-tech city of the country. But of course, we'll go here and buy some. It looks like we already have all the ingredients we need for any recipes from here, at least. Anything from this guy? Oh, we got some new, Yeah, okay, there's a few recipes we haven't learned, like the rose here. Refreshing cocktail made from a pungent fruit juice. And then the plucked herb tea should be good to learn as well. But it looks like we've figured out the other ones, so moving on. There's the landing port, so nothing over there. And then I'm not really quite sure why they have this here. Whatever. Whoa, what's this? It's called an escalator, Estelle. But then you're probably not used to this, are you? Some kind of moving staircase. It is a really long climb, so I guess it would be tough without it. Yeah, but to have the whole thing moving underneath you. This place has been full of surprises ever since we got here. No kidding. Yeah, I guess I sometimes forget that this game is taking place in like a almost steampunk-like future. But we just found the Bracer Guild right over here, so let's go ahead and check in with them and see what else we can do. Hi there. Burn us. Apparently she's an Eastern woman, deep in thought. See, we're finally here, I see. Estelle, Joshua, welcome to Zeiss. Zeiss. I think it's Zeiss. Keep saying Zeiss, but I'm not sure about the W. I seem to be pronouncing. You know us? I've already been briefed of your arrival from one Jean at the Ruin Branch. A girl with chestnut hair tied in twin ponytails and a boy with black hair and amber eyes. That is you, is it not? Okay. My name is, Kilika. Weird. Isn't that the name of, another character from Hunter x Hunter? Zeiss? Zeiss welcomes your services. Yeah, I keep saying Zeiss, like, Swiss, I guess. But there's really no W. I'll correct my pronunciation and just go for Zeiss now. Welcome to your services. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Oh, same here. The pleasure is ours. I know you've only just arrived, but I would like to proceed with the formalities of changing your affiliation. If you'll just sign these documents. Okay. And now we're part of the Zeiss branch now. That should do it. You are both now affiliates of the Zeiss Regional Guild. There are no urgent matters that must be seen to currently. You're free to check the bulletin board and work at your own pace. That's kind of disappointing, but hey, a little peace and quiet can be a good thing. Oh right, I had a question to ask. About Cassius, correct? She can read minds! Did Jean tell you about him too? The whole sordid matter. I'm sorry to have to say that, Cassius is not currently in the Zeiss region. He only stops in every few months or so. Figures. They just that just leaves Gransel, or maybe... I believe I might be able to provide you with a lead in another matter. Please, take this. Attention, Factory Chief? What's this? It is a letter of introduction to the head of the Central Factory, one Mr. Murdoch. He is basically like the mayor of the Zeiss region. Is this in regards to the matter of the Black Orbment? The stories of the mayor's residence paints it as a very mysterious item. I'd suggest that you consult with the factory chief and see what he has to say. Wow, you really got this all planned out. Did you have some kind of superpower, Kilika? My business is to provide support for bracers such as yourself. I simply deciphered the intelligence that provided and passed it on as the mandates of my job require. Wow. We really appreciate your assistance. Think nothing of it. I trust that you will return to assist us should a major incident occur. You can count on us when the time comes. Well, do you want to go ahead and see the factory chief? Sounds good to me. Of course, before that, we should check the bulletin board. So we got a temp librarian job, which apparently is, doesn't need to be taken care of right away. And the Trat Plains Monster, a ferocious monster known as the Chronosider, has been spotted roving the Trat Plains Road, and bracers from this branch are requested to deal with this threat immediately. Difficulty medium. So, we apparently have some quests that have popped up. We don't think I should have to worry about that right now, so let's go ahead and check in with the section chief after we see if we can find an Orbment factory and some shops around here. Yeah, we got a general goods store. Oh look, there's the Librarial News. There is actually an achievement you can get if you get all the Librarial News and read them. But that's only for anyone who's really, really big on achievements. For me, myself, I'm fine doing some achievements here and there if it makes it an interesting way to play the game, but overall, some of it is just sort of fulfilling things that you may or may not really care about. But I'll go ahead and pick up some items for recipes for future use, of course. You never know what you might need. Let's see. So let's see. We got. Oh, here we go. Equipment shop. Always check up on new equipment. Now that we have a chance, we can get a spike rod. See some Gurkha knives. And then, of course, there's the cannon weapon for our friend that we'll eventually pick up when we get the chance. But for now, we'll get some metal jackets. If we have enough mirror, that is. I guess I'll pick up the craft shoes instead. Of course, it looks like the metal jacket would really help Estelle. Not so much for Joshua, though. Hey, I'll go ahead and pick one up at least. And I'll worry about the other stuff a bit later. And let's see if we can find the Orban shop or not. But we'll check out this bar here since they always got some nice new recipes for us to learn. And it is a bit sad sometimes when they do reuse character models, but you can understand how some people might look alike. But now we need to look for that ornament shop to see if, or wait, I think it's, no, this is a hotel. Yeah, I try to go off based on the map, but, oh, here we go. This is purple for the church. So, but we haven't really found an ornament factory, but then again, I guess maybe the factory, central factory is maybe where we get our new stuff from ornament-wise. So let's go ahead and check it out then. Oh, here we go. So here we go, and we can finally open the last slot for Joshua here. And now he's all good to go for doing just about anything. And of course we already got Estelle all opened up. So the only characters to work on now are anyone who joins our party. And that'll be something to do for sometimes, but most of the time we don't have to worry about that because they already have their stuff open. But it looks like we got an HP 3, which is a frickin' 800 water seep. Crap. That's quite a lot. Definitely something we won't get anytime soon right now. Let's see, and then some mines, which we already have, thankfully. Oh, cool, a confuse we can get for only 50. And it's times 3, so that should help in terms of giving us more options. And then we got a shield 2, which sadly we can't afford. Then evade 3, which we seriously can't afford right now. Oh, we got a 3 though, or a sleep. That can come in handy. Let's see. And there's the cast 2, which we can afford now, which wouldn't be too bad. But let me check up on a few others first. Yeah, there's the EP Cut 2. And an EP 3, which is, yeah, it looks like any of the 3s we're gonna have a bit of trouble trying to pick up for now. So I'll go ahead and pick up, let's see, I think the EP Cut 2 would be nice to have. And getting the cast 2 would probably help as well. And we can afford the EP2, even though we'll be out of the black and low on the gold. I think I should be alright without it for now. And of course here are the stairs we can use to check out each of the floors. And the door's locked. And so we can kind of do our little exploring here and there, but I guess we should maybe just head towards the top floor and see if we can find the chief. before we finish things up here. Okay, so she's just kind of helping out Travis here, who's kind of dealing with her own problems. So, but it doesn't look like the chief is up here on the 5th floor. Maybe on the roof? Yeah, I guess not. Time to check the 4th floor then. Oh, they even have a clinic here. But we can't get any heals here. And there's the lab. Oh, cool. This is a little greenhouse area. That's nice. Now, where would you would think the section chief would be at the top, but sadly not. Maybe I should have talked to the receptionist before trying to come up here, I guess. Igor? Seriously? Is Igor a fairly normal name to have, or is that something they just like to use when it comes to trying to have a name for an assistant or someone, you know, to work for, I guess? But then I haven't really met any Igors before. But let's go ahead and go back to the 1st floor and see if I can talk to someone there to help. Oh, you were the ones with Tita before, right? No? Welcome to the Central Factory. Can I help you? We're from the Bracer Guild. We'd like to meet with the factory head, if we may. Apparently, Estelle reached into her paused for dramatic effect, then flourished the introduction note to meet the factory chief. Joshua looked stoic and tried not to roll his eyes. I see. Just a moment, please. And Hazel used the intercom, keeping one wary eye on Estelle all the while. Sir, I'm terribly sorry to bother you during your... Yes, sir. The people from the Bracer Guild are... Yes, sir. Right away. Thank you for waiting. Factory Chief Murdoch will see you now. His office is upstairs on the 2nd floor. Nice. I didn't think he would see us so quickly. Let's not keep him waiting. Yeah, I'm surprised too how quickly that went. But then again, he might have already knew we were coming. So here's his office. Hey, I've been waiting for you two. Estelle and Joshua, right? Yes. It's nice to meet you, sir. We're sorry to bother you at work like this. No, don't worry yourselves about that. The Bracer Guild and Cassius in particular have done a great deal for me in the past. It would be rude of me not to welcome his children. Huh? You know Dad? I guess you might say that he was my benefactor. It's no exaggeration to say that the Central Factory produces the finest orbments in the land. Naturally, the confrontations over our craft have never really stopped. Whenever we had a problem, we'd always contact the Roland branch and have him come over. I see. That explains all the business trips then. And now my benefactor's kids come to visit me themselves. So what can I do for you? I'm happy to help. Thanks, sir. It's kind of a long story. But they go ahead and explain the events surrounding the mysterious black orbment to Murdoch. I see. Well then, would you mind if I had a look at this orbment? Sure, no problem. And she hands it over to the factory chief. Now this certainly is an oddity. It's obviously made from modern materials, but the caliber isn't inscribed anywhere. Caliber? You mean the numbers that are carved into an orbment's frame? Exactly. It's almost unheard of for an orbment to be produced without them. That's not just in Liberl either. Most other nations on the continent are the same way. It's been a tradition dating back to when the orbments were first invented 50 years ago. Huh, you don't say. Estelle took out her combat orbment and eyeballed it suspiciously. You're right. There are numbers right there. Crazy. You mean to say that you never noticed in all this time? Oh, you hush. But seriously, is it really that strange for one to have no caliber on it? It's pretty much a part of the production process, and that goes for any orbital factory. It's as if this one was a prototype or something. If so, I'd imagine it wasn't made to entertain at birthday parties, if you take my meaning. So less with the sweet and awesome, more with the stabby hurdy. Got it. Of course, I can't say for certain without looking inside. What is it? Bah, I can't find the maintenance cover. And now that I really look at it, it has no seams to it at all. How the hell was this thing made? I don't see any way to check out the inside of it. Aw, man. Would it be possible to cut it open? That might work, yes, but I would hate to just break something belonging to Cassius like that. Oh, okay. Maybe we should let that professor handle it. Oh right, the one mentioned in the note. Yeah, he should be able to tell us something. There was a note that was included with the orbment, and Estelle showed Murdoch the note that was in the package for Cassius. Please ask Professor R to do an analysis. You wouldn't happen to know who the Professor R is, would you? Well, let me think. From the letter R and the people that Cassius knew, it must be Professor Russell. I thought so. Who's Professor Russell? And wait a second, how do you know this guy? I don't, but I know of him. He's known as the person who brought orbital technology to Liberl in the first place. Hey, you know your stuff. As I'm sure you know, orbits were invented by Professor Epstein, and Professor Russell was one of his disciples. 40 years ago, he brought the orbits and his knowledge back, and that's why Liberl is a technologically advanced nation. You might say that he was the father of the orbital revolution. Wow, now that is impressive. Man, I had no idea that Dad knew anyone like that. Even so, it worries me a little that you'll be letting the old handle the US orbment. We have no idea what it is, really. Huh? Well, how to put this? For good or ill, he's a certified genius. When he gets an idea for a new invention in his head, there's just no telling what he'll do. Much like the time when he was developing the first orbital airship. What's with the far-off look? I guess that's a lot happened. Ahem, sorry. I'm sure that you'll be able to figure this thing out. Go find him and ask him about it. It can't hurt. Thanks, Chief. Where should we go to find him? Hold on a moment. And looks like, Murdoch flipped the switch on the intercom. Testing? Ah, good. Actually, I've been looking for you. Sorry to bother you, but can you come here? Alright, I'll be waiting. What? Did you just call the professor or something? Oh, no. He actually has a private workshop in town. He has all the latest technology at his disposal, so I know he can figure out something about that thing. Wow, he really must be a genius. Wait, then who did you call? His granddaughter. She works here at the factory. I'm sure the child will be happy to show you the way. The child? Excuse me. What? You? Oh, Estelle and Joshua. You mean that you know each other? Yeah, we only just met a little while ago, though. So then, I guess that she's the professor's granddaughter. Exactly. Tita, I've been talking with Estelle and Joshua here. I'd like for you to show them the way to your house. To see Grandpa? Okay, I will. I appreciate it. Yes, if you learn anything new, I'd love it for you to come back and told me. I think they meant tell me. As an engineer, I'm extremely curious to know more about this. Haha, sure thing. If you'll excuse us then. Hey, I didn't think you would be coming. And you're even the granddaughter of the famous professor. It's no wonder you're so comfortable with orbments. Oh, come on. I'm still just studying under my grandpa. Oh, by the way, did you bracers have business with my grandpa? Well, sort of. The situation is kinda complicated. We can explain everything once we see your grandfather. Oh, okay. My house is in the southwest corner of town. Get off the escalator and go straight until you reach the south entrance. Then turn to the west and there it is. Got it. Well, let's get moving. And you guys can join us next time when we go ahead and check out Professor Russell, and hopefully he can tell us more about our black orbment. Until next time, have fun gaming.